The General Services Administration is working toward having one solicitation for multiple award contracts. It's part of its efforts to simplify the contracting process, but GSA may be missing out on an opportunity to simplify these acquisitions even more. Jacob Bertram is principal consultant at the Lohfeld Consulting Group. Jacob, welcome. Thanks for coming on. You're writing about this in Washington Technology. What does this combination look like of merging the multiple award schedules and the government-wide acquisition contracts?
Well, this idea is really taking root in industry, where there's one master services agreement for all of the companies that are doing business with that company. Looking at it in a way that the government could implement this is taking the best of the both worlds. So one, the continuously open multiple award schedule, where there can be companies that can be onboarded relatively quickly. And then taking the best of the GWAC world, where you can have flexible contract types, fixed price, time and material, cost reimbursement. So taking both of those into one vehicle that can be used government-wide.
You write in this piece in WashTech, imagine a contract vehicle that's continuously open, allows both fixed price and cost reimbursement contracting, flexible pricing, allows companies to propose commercially viable solutions. I think that's maybe the most key thing here, is that every agency says it wants commercial solutions whenever possible. That strikes me as maybe the biggest change here. Am I on the right track?
No, I think that definitely is going the right track. So what we have with the multiple award schedule is a really great contract vehicle that's continuously open and that really vets out the suppliers and making sure that they're good to go with business with the government financially, technically, and from a quality assurance wise. So that's one of the benefits of the multiple award schedule. However, one of the drawdowns of it is the rigid pricing that's on there, and then also the inflexibility of the special item number, the SIN structure, where it doesn't always map the way that a company goes to market.
You get at what I think maybe the primary objection would be to this from vendors, and that is that something like this potentially could be complicated. You're right, if a new company already has an existing MAS or GWAC, they're automatically in. New companies could submit a simple technical proposal based on what the potential supplier can provide to the government and how it plans to perform the work. It strikes me that would provide the on-ramp for companies that didn't get in on this initially.
Right. So one of the biggest challenges is the on-ramping process, where a lot of the contract vehicles that are out there, say the multiple award schedule or various GWACs, is that they're attribute contracts, where we're looking at what a company has done in the past. And a lot of times those technical packages are telling the government what the government already knows. So is there an approved accounting system? What are the past performances looking like? All of that type of stuff. The government already knows all that. So you're putting together documentation that is redundant, and it also is difficult to evaluate, and it does take a long time.
You give a thumbnail in this piece, and you've discussed a couple of points already in our conversation, Jacob, about what you think the good points of multiple award schedules and GWACs are. What are some of the downsides of each that by doing this consolidation we would get away from?
So the biggest challenge with the GWACs are the putting together the proposal package, which takes quite a bit of time for a supplier to put together, and then for the government to evaluate. And then with every on-ramp that's out there, we see award, protest, corrective action, award again. And the process does take quite a bit of time, and it's frustrating for both government and industry, and there's not a lot of value add in that process, where the multiple award schedule doesn't have those challenges. So let's take the continuously open, easy to on-ramp part of the multiple award schedule and combine it with the flexibility of a GWAC. Those together would be a really great contract vehicle that would eliminate the pain points of both sides.
What has to happen policy-wise from GSA, maybe something from OFPP, maybe something legislatively from Congress, to make sure that we get the good things that we want about each of those in this consolidation and eliminate those things that you just described?
The beauty of this idea is that it can all be done under existing regulation and under the existing law. So in 2018, Congress gave the authority for the unpriced schedules, the unpriced IDIQ, which GSA has yet to implement on the multiple award schedule, mostly because of the regulation and that goes along with it. So a lot of the multiple award schedule is rooted in regulation that has to be changed. So that is one of the drawdowns of that. For the GWACs, those are already set to go from a policy, legislation, and regulation standpoint. So I believe that this idea could really get off the ground and get moving very, very quickly.
You close out of this piece, with about a minute and a half left, Jacob. You close out of this piece by writing, let's start the conversation with customer agencies as well as GSA and industry leaders. Are those the major stakeholders that need to be at the table during discussions about something like this, Jacob?
Oh, definitely. And bringing industry to the table is going to be extremely important, especially with getting the technology in place to make this work and work really, really well. So that's one of the biggest challenges that's out there, is the outdated technology that the government is using. When there are commercially viable solutions out there, to have a contract management system that can handle the potential, the size of the number of companies that are going to be on this vehicle.
30 seconds left, Jacob. Is there anything that GSA has learned from the multiple award schedule consolidation that would apply to this transition if they were to do it?
The beauty of the transition to one single multiple award schedule is the flexibility that's there. And that's definitely something that could be very important and very open scope for a new contract vehicle that's continuously open and that allows the flexible pricing.
Jacob Bertram, thanks very much for coming on. Great to have you.
All right, thank you.